Hello again. Welcome back to another Fresh from the Theater review. I just got back from seeing Wicked. Technically, Wicked Part 1, based on the movie's opening credit title, but everybody's calling it Wicked, and I just want to say up front, I may be the worst person to be reviewing this because I've never read the book, the original book Wicked. I've never seen the stage Broadway play, but I have listened to some of the songs on their own. I read a synopsis of the story a while back, so I got some basic ideas, but this is a rare case where I went into something with really no actual familiarity beyond the basic points, but I just felt like jumping out of my comfort zone. Usually I go to see action, horror, sometimes comedy or drama, but I felt like stepping out and going into music territory, and I'm not completely blind to the musical scene. I actually do, despite what I usually talk about, I actually do really like a good musical if it's done well. And I got an interesting taste in some musicals. Like, my favorite musical of all time is fucking Xanadu. I'm not kidding, and I legit 100% unironically love that fucking movie. It just combined two styles that I'm a big fan of, the old school jazz and the rock of the 70s and 80s. But that's just an example of what I'm a fan of. Today I went to see Wicked, the alternate take on the Wizard of Oz, after the second one technically after the Wiz. The story is, from what I've heard before, and what I'm sure a lot of people may know about it, is it's a alternative perspective of the Wizard of Oz story, like from the Wicked Witch, and is about like her backstory, gives the now kind of classic storytelling motif of giving the villain a lot more development and showing her in a sympathetic light, which a lot of properties have been doing a bit over the past 15, 20 years, and it's something I'm always kind of mixed on, because while it is good to have well-developed characters and villains, I'm not sure every villain needs to either be sympathetic or have a redemption story. But Wicked, it's been around a while, so I was interested to really give it a look again as kind of an outsider. And my thoughts? I really surprisingly like this movie. Again, I went into this with no real familiarity, and I saw the trailer when it came out, and honestly, it didn't do anything major to win me over. It looked a little stiff, and part of me felt like, is this going to be another soulless adaptation? But after seeing it, I can say there was anything but soullessness put into this. I could tell there was a lot of goddamn passion here, and nobody half-assed their roles here. The choreography, the performances, and I wrote down some little questions before I went in that I thought were worth answering afterwards. The big one being, because it was just clear it's going to be a huge scale production, how was the production design, the special effects? Because I could tell they were going to do some CGI, and there are a few moments where the CGI is a little obvious, but for the most part, they blend things well. Like there is some legit, actually, their production design, and the production design might be the costumes. It's fucking fantastic. Like, I would be very fucking shocked if this movie doesn't at least get a nomination for best costuming or design. And I'm not sure about makeup, because when I first saw the makeup that they were gonna do for Elphaba, hope I'm pronouncing that right, it didn't win me over right away. But now that I've seen the film, I think that it worked in pretty well. I thought they did a good, convincing job. It really felt like it was her actual skin, the green skin. After that, the question is it well paced? Because I saw the length of this. Like, I almost didn't go see this because in a few days my family's coming up for Thanksgiving, and this is a big movie, so I was like, do I want to devote a whole day, like right before they show up, to go see a 2-hour, 40-minute movie? But I decided, fuck it, I want to go see. And this was an extremely well-paced movie. It doesn't feel like it's near 3 hours. It flows extremely well. The character plot development, it's perfectly unfolded. Like how Elphaba goes from being the kind of outcast who everybody is either afraid of or they mock, to the Wicked Witch by the end of part 1. It's amazing development, and not just for her. There's Galinda, the future good witch. The development with her character is very good, and I think that it's a good transition to talk about the performances. Cynthia Erivo, again, I fucking suck at pronouncing names, so forgive me if I get that wrong, as Elphaba Throp. I really got into her. I was worried that she might play it stiff, emotionless, based on what I'd seen from like some of the trailers, but once the film got going, she fully became this character, and when she had to sing, she was fucking amazing. She put so much emotion into her performance that I don't know what to say other than good fucking job. And I was really behind this character. There are definitely some cringy moments, not just with her, but with everybody throughout the film. But this is the kind of story where it's supposed to have cringy moments, because like you feel the frustration of her character and the blind ugliness that there is in this this universe, that again is giving the alternate perspective. And the character that I was not sure how I would feel about an act performer was Ariana Grande as Galinda. And Cynthia Erivo, I don't know her from anything else, and Ariana Grande, the only thing I really know her from are the shows that she did back in the day, Nickelodeon, and even then I didn't really see much of them because just a few minutes were enough to make me not want to watch. And I remember her character she played on like Victorious was really fucking annoying, like possibly retarded almost, because she was so annoying and dumb. And I'll be honest, I've never listened to a song, as far as I know, that she's sung. So again, I'm the worst person to review this, but I watch, and she sings so many songs here. And Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, they are fucking outstanding together. Like, they're both great on their own. Ariana Grande has so many songs here, and she almost steals the film. And this version of Galinda is From what I've seen, this is not an easy character to play. Like, the way she's written, like, there is good character development, but it takes a while before you to kind of warm up to her. For a while, like, the idea is she's rich, spoiled, and unaware of just how self-absorbed she is. And this character could have easily turned into the most narcissistic cunt you've ever seen in a movie, but they handled it well, and Ariana Grande, her performance really helped the character move along, and in a way she was elevated as it progressed. And the progression of these two characters who don't like each other at first, but then grow to see each other as friends, is probably the best part of the film, and I really loved watching them grow. The scene where they start to connect, where Elphaba is doing this interesting little dance, and then Glenda joins. This was the most on edge I've been in a while, and it was for a fucking quiet dance scene. But I totally was just taken in, and I had to just see how it was going, and I really want to see part 2 to see where it goes from here. I mean, I kind of know where it's going to go, but I just want to see more of these two together. And aside from the two main stars, Jonathan Bailey as Fierro, or I can't pronounce these goddamn names, but he's like the new pretty rich boy that everybody, girl and man, are fawning over, and Glenda has her eyes on him, and there's a not terribly spoken out, but clearly there, attraction between him and Elphaba, and the actors make this work. Like, they don't have a lot of time together, but they totally make you believe that this attraction would happen, and the chemistry is just off the walls here. And as for the, I guess, non-student characters, because this all takes place at like a college, Madame Morrible, that should be an instant red flag for this character, played by Michelle Yeoh, the head of the university. She was another pleasant surprise. I've seen her in a bunch of stuff over the years, but again, it's mostly like not musical material, and she was a pretty decent part of the cast. She had her own set of moments, and she has her own great relationship with Elphaba that takes a lot of interesting turns, and you totally buy that she would latch on to this older mentor after a lifetime of being seen as a freak, an outcast. And the last actor to mention, he's not in it much, but he is there, is Jeff Goldblum as the fucking wizard. And his performance, it's a little jittery, but it matches up with the versions of the wizard we've seen before, so I don't fault it at all for going there, but it totally matches the wizard as being this charming con man. And I won't get too much, I mean, chances are if you're watching this you probably know the story, but I won't get too much into the spoiler area. Just, he perfectly fits what you would think of when you know the wizard and what he's really all about. And he even has a few singing moments which aren't on the same level as Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, but he's pretty decent. I mean, it's like seeing Clint Eastwood sing. Not Broadway worthy, but still pretty fun. There is a little commentary here. I mean, it's obvious, yeah, the themes of prejudice, bigotry, but they don't beat you over the head with it, and it's handled reasonably well. Like, it's not overly preachy, and it's there enough that the message gets across, and while it may not be anything you haven't seen before, I thought it fit very well. Like, everything fit extremely well, and it was interesting, and overall after seeing it, I think it was a decent decision to have a black actress play Elphaba, and there's this very poignant and ironic moment where she arrives at the university with her sister, who's in a wheelchair, and while everybody's freaking out about her with her green skin, she points to her sister, who, like the actress playing Elphaba, is black, and she comments, "Don't worry, she's the right color." There were many layers to that moment, and this is also a universe where animals can talk, and a big theme of animals having their ability to talk taken away, and also there's this great line of them saying that society, I think, is divided, and the best way to bring people together is to give them a common enemy. I like that moment. That was a pretty good, pretty real line, and if there was anything, like, those are the questions I wrote down before I went in, but I made this little pro-con card for anything I might have had after I saw the movie. If there's any cons I can give, it would be the opening scene of this film goes on, like, there's nothing overall wrong with the opening scene, but it goes on maybe a little too long before the opening credits start to play. I mean, it's just the title, but I don't know. It reminded me of the opening scene, pre-credit scene of Halloween Kills, which went on way too fucking long. And some of the story, the backstory of Elphaba, is told by Glinda, now known as Glinda. Like, the opening scene takes place right after the ending of the original Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy supposedly kills the witch with water, and Glinda's talking to the Munchkins, and Ariana Grande's acting in this scene is really good. Like, everybody's celebrating the Wicked Witch's death, but Glinda, while smiling, you can tell she's clearly disturbed by the joyous hatred that they have towards the Wicked Witch because of their history. But she starts to, like, do the question of a Munchkin kid, starts to tell this tale of Elphaba, and I don't know if it was just for, like, the first few minutes, but this opening scene almost implies that she's telling the entirety of the story. I may be wrong. It feels like she's telling the entirety of the story to this group of Munchkins on their city street, which, I don't know, like, it's a cliche of a character explaining the whole movie through flashbacks, but I sure hope that's not how this story is going to be revealed to be told overall by the end of part 2. I just think, I don't know, I don't think they should have opened it like that, because, like, if it's revealed that this whole thing's being told by her, like, over the course of less than a day to this group, that just feels like it would be fucking stupid. But that's just the opening scene. Like, after that, things take off pretty well. The only other con I can really think of is if Elphaba has a sister who is in a wheelchair, but she's not green, so her father, who's always been disgusted by her, really loves her sister, sees her as perfect, even though she's crippled because she has the right skin. And while she is featured throughout the film, by the end, like the last scene, I really had a feeling like I almost forgot that she was in this fucking movie, and to me that's probably the biggest problem. Like, you forget her and a few other characters are really part of the big story. Maybe there's going to be more scenes in part 2, but some of the characters, aside from the main 3 students and Michelle Yeoh, you can easily forget that they're part of this. So major pros, as I said, the development is very good. You buy it all. This friendship between Elphaba and Glinda is extremely well paced and progresses very smoothly. And the dance choreography is another thing. All these actors, whether they're main or supporting, put their heart and body into these musical numbers. I mean, the singing is already fucking beautiful and outstanding, but the fact that they could move the way they do here is just mesmerizing. It's something to admire. Last big thing I can say that's doesn't really get into the spoiler of things is there's a very cool moment where Glinda and Elphaba are in the Emerald City and they watch this little street performance, and the 2 singers doing this street performance are Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, the original singers of the Wicked play. And like, I've never seen it, but I do know that they were the original singers, so, and I recognized them right away. Having them included was a nice touch, and it's not too brief, but it doesn't go on too long, and it's integrated in perfectly well and just fits, in my opinion. And overall, I guess the last thing I can say is this movie was a wonderful shock, and again, it's not what I usually go see, but I really dug it, and I really would be interested in seeing the second one whenever it comes to town. Major hats off to John M. Chu, the director. He really brought this project to life for the big screen. Cinematographer Alice Brooks, and Stephen Schwartz, who did the stage musical, came back here, obviously, but John Powell, who has an interesting filmography of music scoring. His 2 most notable for me are Face Off and the Kung Fu Panda movies, which Michelle Yeoh was a part of at one point. And they put together an epic production. This is like on the same scale as Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, except it's going to make its money back. I'm one of the few enjoyers of that movie, but I think this was a lot of fun, and I don't think I need to say go see it because it's clearly doing decently from what I have seen. But I totally recommend checking it out if you like epic musicals and you just are a fan of the play or the songs. I think you get into it, and there are a few cringy moments once again, but every musical has those. You can't escape them. And hope you enjoyed this review. I'm pretty tired, and I got a busy couple of days ahead of me, so later.